Alright guys, so this video is meant to be a quick refresher for using NetBeans. NetBeans is an IDE, which is a program that lets us to write code, Java in particular, but lots of other programs as well, or programming languages as well. Eclipse is also an IDE that you can use if you'd like. There's many out there. We just happen to be using NetBeans. So here is what it looks like usually when you open it up. And one of the first things that we're going to have to do, if we ever want to work on any kind of program, and NetBeans, is to create a project. So there's these two little plus sign icons up here. One creates a new file. The other creates a new project. Files live inside of projects. And since right now we don't have any projects, the first step is to make a project. So when you go to start a new project, one of the first things it's going to ask you to do is to tell it what type of language you're working on, and that's Java. And we're making a Java application. Then the next screen, it'll ask you to give that project a name. So I'm just going to call this test project for now. And the next line, test project 2, because I already have that actually. The next line shows you where it's going to be saving that test project. So for me, it's saying that it'll save it in the C drive. So the hard drive, for me, when I'm logged in the Documents folder, in a folder called NetBeans Projects. You may want to save directly to a thumb drive or to another location, in which case just browse and choose the place that's best for you. But I'm going to keep it as is. If you're going to go to a thumb drive, you'd probably go to the computer and you'd have a thumb drive pop up in this page. So let's finish making the project. And by default, when you make a project, there will always be a main class as long as this checkbox is checked. So I'm going to have a file to start with. And now you see my project panel has stuff in it. There's a whole bunch of little subfolders, and then if I work my way down, here's the file, testproject2.java. It automatically will append this line of code, package testproject2, to the top of my file. It automatically generates a number of comments and a little bit of code for me when I start out. You can change your starting version of the program if you'd like by following the instructions up here and going to the template. But let's just put in a little bit of code to get started. So testproject2, and let's just do a simple print statement. System.out.println hello class, and semicolon. So there is my program. Now I want to run it. In order to run it, I'm going to go up and press this little play button up here. There is a drop down next to it that says run project. Now it's important to note that I could have multiple files inside of a single project. When you hit this play button, it runs the file that shares the same name as the project. So in this case, my file is testproject2, my project is testproject2. When I hit the play button, it'll run it. If you have multiple files with multiple main methods in your project, you can also go over and right-click and say run the file. There's also the shortcut Shift F6 if you have a keyboard that has an F6 on it. So let's run the project, see what happens. Down here is where my output goes. It's running, but it's doing it slowly because I'm on a virtual machine. But what we hope to see is hello class, and then we can clap and celebrate. Hey, all right, yay. Celebration. So there is a brief intro to using NetBeans again, if you had any problems or forgot.